Hi there everybody, this is David, and I have some exciting news because Wild Arms is back, and I want to tell you all about it today, and I definitely do think this is worth a sub as you come and you join a party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. So the whole series itself isn't coming back, but Wild Arms 4 is coming back for PlayStation Plus members, for the premium members and the extra members, and it will be available on April the 21st with enhanced rendering, a rewind, a quick save, and custom video filters. And honestly, I love the Wild Arms series, and Wild Arms 4, it has a bad reputation as kind of like a black sheep in the series, but to me, it's actually one of my favorites. I really, really, really enjoy Wild Arms 4. To me, I feel like the worst one is Wild Arms 3, simply because it's just so slow, and Wild Arms 4 tried new things, and it kind of reinvigorated the series for me until it went ahead and it went out with Wild Arms 5, its culmination for its 10th anniversary. A 10th anniversary, and then we never saw anything else of it. So a lot of things were changed in this entry, some for the better, some for the worse. Something that always was in all the Wild Arms 4, or in all the Wild Arms games before the fourth one came around, was a scenario system. You got to see, the beginning of the game from all sorts of different viewpoints, and we get to see those individual stories, but here, that's gone. Instead, you follow a single linear adventure. There's no jumping perspectives. There's no separate introductions or anything else like that. You just start off with Jude Maverick, your hero, who's kind of like in this little cocoon world, this like paradise world that's floating above Filgaia, the dying world. And he doesn't really even know that he's in this kind of like separate alternate world, and he had never seen a girl before in his life until he runs into the Yulia, who is this mysterious girl who's kind of like the religious girl or whatever, and she's on the run from these weirdos called Brionac. And that pretty much kicks off the story, and you do go and you meet, different party members and more party members, and we'll get into what everybody does in just a minute. But another change is the magical system has been changed. In Wild Arms 1 and 2, there was a crest magic system where you could kind of like take your magical spells and tie them to crests and like use this grid or whatever and like create your own spells, which was really freaking cool. They simplified it and they got rid of that magical system as well. Instead, you just kind of have two spellcasters, and you have your white mage and you have your black mage, and also the guardians are pretty much gone as well. In the other games, you had these guardians and they could kind of like, I don't know, they kind of worked as like accessories, and they kind of enhanced your characters, and you could even summon them. And while there are still summons in this game, it's not exactly the same as the Guardians. Whereas the other entries were much longer. Even Wild Arms 1 on the PlayStation 1 was like 40, 50 hours. Wild Arms 2 was like 60. Wild Arms 3 was like 100. Wild Arms 3 was so incredibly long. Wild Arms 4 is easily the shortest game in the series, clocking in at maybe 15 to 20 hours. It is a short, tight adventure. It tells its story, and it does a good job doing what it does, but it doesn't waste any of your time. It is really like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, and instead of being able to like explore all of Filgaia with like a traditional world map, it's more of a point and click world map, which is a way that it kind of simplifies things. And instead of exploring in kind of like an overworld way where you can kind of see all your characters as you're going through the dungeons and see over their shoulder in almost a Zelda way, or in like a traditional RPG way, it instead does a side-scrolling action way of exploration, which is super different, super weird for an RPG. There's a lot of platforming elements, like slowing down time and stopping time even to kind of get through these platforming elements that they have there. So it's almost like a mix of RPG and like Mario. You know, it's like a really strange conglomeration of a game. It's very, very, very different, but different doesn't necessarily mean bad. I feel like a lot of people don't like Wild Arms 4 because of these differences, but I still think that it is one of the better games in the series just because, again, it doesn't waste your time. It tells a fun, tight story, and it's action-packed. Like, it keeps you at the edge of your seat for the entire time. It's not boring, and the battle system has been changed too to be really, really quick and really fun. The battle system in Wild Arms 3 was incredibly slow. You had to sit there and watch everybody do their one attack and then run around the field, and then do their one attack and then run around the field. And it happened for all of your party members and all of the enemies, and the battles took forever, like forever. Oh my gosh, it was so slow. But the hex battle system has been introduced here, and it is so much fun. It is one of the most fun battle systems I've ever had the pleasure of playing. It is so much fun. So the battlefield is divided into 7 different hexes, and there's like one center hex, and then there's other hexes around that center hex, and each of your characters start in various hexes, and then the enemies are in their hexes, and instead of attacking one enemy, you actually go ahead and you attack an entire hex. So your positioning actually matters. You can hit multiple enemies in one hex if they are grouped together, and you're even able to like push and pull enemies into various hexes to kind of get them together and then smash them. So you're constantly thinking about where the enemies are, where you are in relation to the enemy so you can avoid their attacks, and you're thinking about like space and everything, not just turns. So instead of just being like a turn-based RPG, it's almost turned into like a tactical RPG, and that system alone is like one of the reasons why I really, really love this game. Another thing, we actually have 4 person battles. In Wild Arms 1 and 2, and as well as 5, it was only 3-person battles. They introduced a 4th character in Wild Arms 3, and they continued that along for Wild Arms 4, so you have more characters and more strategy in those battles. So Jude is your hero. He's basically your fast, well-balanced attacker. He uses the arm abilities and all that kind of stuff. And then Yulia, she is your supporter, your healer. She's able to summon these guardians, and she's able to deal damage that way, but she's pretty much there just for support. Then there's Arnaud, and he is hot, and he is essentially like your black mage. He does ranged elemental attacks and things like that. And then there is Raquel, who is ridiculous. Oh my god. Like, Raquel is the win the game button. The first time I played the game, I went through and I played it normally with Raquel, with Intrude, and basically like you would fight kind of slow and strategize and everything with everybody else, and then Raquel's turn came around and it was dead. Like, just literally just dead. She just killed everything on sight. Her Intrude is so ridiculous. I have never seen a more overpowered character in my entire life. So if you're having any problems, you can play as Raquel. Then I went through and I actually made a Let's Play of this game. I love it so much. I made a Let's Play of this game way back in the day, like 10 years ago, back when I started Let's Plays. It was one of my first Let's Plays I ever did. And I made a Let's Play of the game. And I pretty much said, you know what? We're going to try to not use Raquel as much as humanly possible. Maybe only use her like one time in boss fights or whatever, just to make it more... just to make it a little bit harder, because Raquel is really the win the game button. She is crazy, but her storyline is so good. It's really an emotional, heart-wrenching story with her, and all the characters are really lovable. I know that a lot of people didn't like this game. I am aware of that because it was so different, because it has that kind of black sheep thing. But again, just because something's different doesn't mean that it is bad. I implore you, if you haven't played Wild Arms 4, and if you want to try out the series and see what it's about, check this one out. It is short, sweet, and to the point, and it's a whole lot of fun, and I do think that you will really, really enjoy it. So I just wanted to make this video to tell you about Wild Arms 4, tell you why I like it, and to get you, and just kind of let you know what you're in for with this game. Thank you so much for watching, and I want to hear from you. What do you think about Wild Arms 4 and the Wild Arms series? Let me know in the comments, and as always, have a good day.